Okay, now we have everybody joined. First of all, happy welcome to this first half-year earnings call for the NAGA Group, and we're happy to present Octavian today, who will slide us through some of the slides, and then we are open for questions and answers after the presentation. If you have a question, please raise your hand. We are the raise your hand function, but you can also ask a question via the chat function. Please bear in mind that this earnings call is being recorded. So I think that sums up the organization stuff, and I will now hand over to Octavian. Please go ahead for the presentation.
Thank you very much, Henry, and thank you for hosting us. It is a pleasure to be again here in NuWays and have our H1 presentation. And this is the first time we are doing the consolidated presentation for the new NAGA for our first 6 months results. So it's an exciting period for us, and we all the time like premieres. My name is Octavian. I am the CEO of NAGA Group, and I have with me also my colleague, Mr. Ricardo Cravo, who is our Chief Financial Officer of the group. So he may participate also in answering some questions that you guys may have. So before we would start with the presentation, I would like to remind ourselves which is our mission. And we know that life is complicated, so investing shouldn't be. That's why we're trying to push our narrative with the one app where you can do trading, investing, crypto, payments, and social trading into one single experience. And this is the way we're trying to revolutionize the experience of our users. And that's why soon we're going to upgrade NAGA Pay to NAGA One so we can offer this experience. So moving on, I want to remind ourselves about our efforts that we wanted to have and do from the beginning. And this is like the synergy efforts on the merger, and our main objective was to reach $10 million. So obviously in the first 6 months of my tenure and my colleagues' tenure in NAGA, we focused a lot on the merger to make sure that the merger was going to take place in a correct way. But we had a focus also on the part of synergies. And we knew from day one that our synergies are split in 3 parts. And we're talking about the tech optimization, which is most of it. We're talking about the operational synergies and the commercial synergies. So I think here we have also a table where we can describe this very well. So in the first 6 months of 2024, on a consolidated basis, we had synergies of 2 million euro. So if we had applied these synergies at the beginning of the year and really take effect for the whole period of 6 months, we would have reached full impact of synergies of 4.7 million euro. We expect in H2 to deliver another 3.4, and their impact on a 6 months basis for H2 would have been 4.6 on a theoretical level. So we're expecting that after this, our first 12 months in the new NAGA to reach 5.4 million euro as total synergies. And this 5.4 million euro on a 12 months basis impact will going to be around 9.3 million euro, which translates to almost $10 million. They're not there yet. We are almost half of it done, but obviously because we are already in Q3 and we're going to finish also Q4, we're going to reach close numbers to this. And while we're doing this in H2, as the last presentation that we had in NuWays, we are focusing a lot on growth. Yes, so we are back on the synergies level. And going forward, now we're going to speak about the financials, and there are some key considerations because you're going to see there an extensive table with all of our financial for the first 6 months. So it's important to understand that we have participated legal-wise in a reverse merger where NAGA Group became the owner of all the Capex Group. And in the table, we try to see the numbers from the perspective of IFRS accountancy principle, where we compared in the first table the Capex Group results in H1 2023 with the new NAGA H1 2024. But for more transparency in regards to our stakeholders, we wanted to add on a theoretical level what would have meant if Capex and NAGA would have been merged in 2023, and together what kind of results they would have shown. So this is why we did this adjusted comparability. So going forward, and this is our table, you're going to see that in H1 2024, we had almost 32 million euro in terms of revenue. So to be accurate, it was 31.74 million euro in revenues. Now, if we are looking as Capex and NAGA would have been a single company in H1 2023, would have seen that our revenues would be close to 36 million euro. So our impact was a decrease in overall revenues of minus 12%. In my opinion, and in the team opinion, this is a big win for us because we know that when companies merge, they may suffer some decrease on the revenues in terms of an organic way. But ours was a very small impact because we took some decisions and we wanted to align some business units with our long-term objectives when it comes to minimum EBITDA margin and so on. So we closed some of them so we can focus on others that have more impact in our numbers. So this is where the decrease comes without taking consideration macroeconomic events, capital markets movement, volatility in the markets, and the user behavior. So for us, it's a win because if we are looking from the IFRS comparison, we had a 100% increase in terms of revenue from H to H on the different years. Now, from the both companies, and this is why we put the pro forma, you're going to see that we had a major decrease in the direct expenses of almost 30%, which this means 8.7 million euro, 18% decrease in the personal expenses. We kept the marketing on the same level because the marketing is our engine where we're bringing users and where we are growing. And other operating expenses, we had a decrease of 23%. Now, when it comes to the direct numbers, we had an EBITDA of almost 2.8 million euro, which this was bigger than our expectation because we thought that we're going to do a little bit less. So this was a positive impact for us. And if we are comparing with CapEx, we had a 270% increase from last year or 85% from both of the group increase in EBITDA. So that means that our objective that we had from January and we started to declare also publicly, they're starting to take effect. And to manage and to do all of this, there was a lot of efforts from the team to make sure that we're going to decrease our expenses. We're going to renegotiate with our suppliers because we're a new company, and also to change some of the business unit mechanics. Now, this is a very important slide for me as a CEO because it's important for the stakeholder to understand also our cash position. So I can say that in the first 6 months on a consolidated basis, we had a 2.4 million euro cash flow positive from operations. And 2 million from this, we invested in the product development to make sure that we have a very, very competitive product in regards to our competitors. I remind again that me as a CEO, I did an equity funding via a convertible note, which was fully converted of 8.1 million euro at the beginning of the year. And also when we started to merge in January and we started to function like a company and I took over the position of the CEO, was important for me that we start with the clean table. So all the NAGA outstanding financial and operational debts that they had from the past, we clean it and we started to pay it. So we did a repayment of 4.1 million euro. So if we're looking at the end of H1 on our financial position, we have a net current cash of almost 13 million euro. And this puts us in a position to really execute our business plan when it comes to growing. And we have this cash that we're going to help us also with our marketing and campaign, with our branding efforts, and also with our tech development. Furthermore, and this is a premiere what I'm announcing, and in October, I decided that me as a CEO, I can commit another 9 million euro, which is $10 million, as a loan to the group so we can have more funds so we can grow. So this will gonna definitely increase our net cash position and we can have a much longer business plan on a much longer term. So that means that my position as a CEO, as an investment in NAGA via loan or via the convertible note, it almost reaches 18 million euro, which is around $20 million. So this is a very, very big commitment from me and my family office that I took over in NAGA because I really believe in the team. I really believe in the product, and time will tell if we're going to be successful or not. So we're going to see. Now, this is what we had for the financial position, and I hope everybody understood it. And now we need to go to some of our marketing and operation descriptions on what we are doing. So first of all, we can see clearly that we have a big increase in terms of our new users. So we have a 143% increase opposed to H2 and H1. And this was something that we saw also in the total deposits that came in from the users with a 67% increase, with the trading volume, which this is our main generator of the revenues, and with the number of active clients, which rose with 41%. Obviously, we still have the social trading as a key driver, and we see based on the numbers that we have for the users that are using the social trading, they have an increase in trading volume of around 24%. And if we extrapolate this to the users that we're going to move from Capex.com to NAGA, we're going to see probably a 14.4% increase also in the Capex users using the social trading feature. Now, this year we announced also our launch of our app in the Telegram, and I wanted to do a slide for this to explain it very well because I received a lot of questions when it comes to our Telegram collaboration. So first of all, in the beginning, in September, we launched our MVP of the app inside the Telegram ecosystem. What was the philosophy behind it, or what was the strategy? We know that we invest in marketing and in branding, but this was going to take time until it's ROI positive and we're going to generate the users that we need. So meantime, and this is our long-term strategy. But meantime, on the short term, we wanted to do some lateral moves so we can get users faster. And we know that Telegram, it's a place where you have like 1 billion users. And we know that from there, we can take a lot of users. That's why we wanted to be directly connected inside Telegram. Directly connected means that we offer to the users of Telegram our app where they can trade financial instruments and they can trade also, they're going to be able, once we update more the app, also crypto and have the neo banking features like the payments. And they can log in also with their user Telegram. They can stay directly in Telegram and they can trade directly from there because the app is natively connected there. And this is a good thing because we know that there's a lot of groups in Telegram, groups for financial, groups for investing, and groups that are looking for education in terms of investing. And now they can stay also on Telegram and also they can access our app there. So in the beginning, we wanted to do some testing with our MVP, and without any real marketing efforts, we managed to have 165,000 new registration coming only from the Telegram ecosystem. Now, we took these users and we understood from what they are doing, we understood exactly what they're looking for. So our product team and marketing team are already upgrading our app with new features and new user experience for them. So we can make sure that once we start our marketing campaigns in a more structured way, we're going to reach our 1 million registered users. And through our efforts, we're going to make sure that we're going to obtain also the conversion rates that we are looking for. So we believe in this project and we are pushing for it. Now, in terms of our go-to-market strategy, I think that our stakeholders and users saw that we had the website unification. So before this, we had like NAGA Markets, NAGA Trader, NAGA Pay, NAGA X, NAGA Crypto, etc. And there were too many websites and we want to consolidate into one. Not only on a vertical level, but also on the offering level. And it's easier for us to brand one single domain. So that's why we did the website notification of naga.com and put it under the new brand identity of Everything Money. We activated our Borussia Dortmund partnership, and now we're going to start to activate our campaigns as we have a lot of things to do there in the next months. And we invested also in our new marketing automation system, which will going to give us the possibility to scale. And these are a few things that we did. Now, upcoming, I can announce today in premiere that next week, we're going to announce our new global ambassador. And I think a lot of people will gonna like him because he's a popular person. And we have also these amazing ads that the marketing team prepared. And is this like a Hollywood type of ad that we are going to launch. And I'm very excited for you guys to see it. Around it, we're going to have our 360-degree marketing campaigns and branding campaigns that we're going to launch. And also we're focusing, especially in the emerging markets, on our influencer partnerships. And just like a keynote, we already saw that on our social trading leaders, we want to have a bigger number because we want to promote the social trading feature in the emerging markets. So we had an increase of 12% in the numbers of influencers. And now that we have everything up and running, we're going to have more and more influencers that can promote education inside our app and different features that we have. In terms of operation, and this is something that I talked before, is that NAGA before merger, most of the traffic comes from EU, but now with the merger done, we can leverage the emerging markets coming from CAPEX ecosystem, and we're going to see a more and more equilibrium where Europe will going to be a third of our users, and the rest will going to be split between MENA region, LATAM region, and Southeast Asia. And a key fact about it is that our non-European clients have a trading volume 3 times bigger than the European one, which can relate to more or a bigger client lifetime value. Don't forget that at the end, we still have the Q&A session where you guys can put the questions. In terms of operation for the year of 2024, I'm happy to announce that we received our VASP license, our virtual assets license for ADGM. So that means that our crypto product now is not only available for Europe, but it's available globally. And also under our Abu Dhabi license, we managed to obtain a managing assets license, which this means that we're going to be able to launch our social trading product in the MENA region under our Abu Dhabi license. Still, in the last months, we managed to move the CAPEX to the NAGA Europe, which was completed. We managed from NAGA, which was offering 800 financial instruments. Now we can offer 4,000 financial instruments, and this is more interesting for our users. And another premiere that we have today, and I'm happy to announce in front of you, is that we're going to introduce the cash interest account. So that means that our users will going to be able to earn interest on the funds that they're going to have in the trading accounts. And we're going to make sure that this is a very, very competitive feature that we're going to put in front of our users. Now in progress, because we're still expanding, we're still looking for 2 new licenses, and we are talking about them, and probably we can, maybe if we're lucky, we're going to be able to announce it in H2. And these are like 2 new key regions that we're going to announce, and we're going to consolidate our position there. We're still continuing to looking on different potential M&As, and here we are not looking for technology or brand. We are looking mainly for users that we can acquire. So we still have some discussions in pending. We want by the end of the year to migrate all the CAPEX clients to the NAGA ecosystem and to the NAGA brand, so we can consolidate into one single brand. And another premiere would be that we're going to launch, and we're in talks to have a new partner when it comes to the new NAGA Pay provider that will going to give us access on a global level. So if NAGA Pay was offered more for Europe, now we're going to be able to offer it on a global level. So this means that we can acquire more and more users. Up next, and we announced it also before, we're upgrading all of our mobile apps or web apps, and even our ecosystem to make our apps faster and to have a better ecosystem when it comes to the execution of order for the users and so on. We are upgrading our social trading features. So we're going to call it Social Trading 2.0, and the team of social trading is working very hard on it. And we're going to be able in the next months to update our systems for the partners portal, because it's also another key driver for our growth with partners. So we're going to make sure that we're going to have a fully automated and digital experience from onboarding until payment, KYC, and so on for all of our partners. Now, as a closing insight, we did a lot of things this year, but honestly, I can say that we're going to see like really big effects next year, because we all the time have in the effect this long-term plan that we set in motion. And we wanted to make sure that we conclude 2024 with a very strong infrastructure in terms of technology, product development, operations, and so on, because we want to be very competitive and scale effectively in the upcoming years. So we have an optimistic outlook from the team. We still have the strategic initiatives. Our team is committed to success, and we're still having this eye of launching innovative products. So this is what I wanted to say for everything what we have done in H1 in terms of operations, in terms of marketing, and in terms of finance. So now I think we can go to the Q&A session. So thank you very much, guys, for listening to us and what we wanted to share. And I hope we can do more and more of these presentations.
Perfect. Thank you very much. So if you have questions, please press the raise your hand button, and I can unmute you. and give you a permission to speak. So if you have a question that you want to ask directly via audio line, please go ahead now. Otherwise, I think we can start with the question that has risen up in the chat. There is one from Mr. Jagode regarding the deposits. So how is the cash interest going to be financed, as you don't have a banking license and can park the deposits at the ECB?
So we have a collaboration with different banks when it comes to offering like these market funds, and this is what we're going to do in the back. So it's already a product. Once we're going to launch it, all the details will going to be on our website on exactly how this will going to be offered and how we are organized in this way.
Thank you. This answers the question. Otherwise, please I raise a follow-up question. Then we have a question by Mr. Yacho. Please go ahead.
Yes, thank you. So your sales have reduced year over year from 36 million to 31 million. You try to explain it, but I'm not sure I understand your explanation. So maybe you can repeat it. What's behind that?
Okay, so this is only on a theoretically level because the companies were not combined in 2023. So we wanted to be very transparent in terms of our stakeholders, and we wanted to show them a calculation on what NAGA plus CAPEX as a separate entities but together on the financial did in 2023. So we took the revenues of CAPEX, we added the revenues of NAGA, and we put it there for illustrative purposes. And
so you have kind of cannibalization effects between NAGA and
yes, but it was not a cannibalization effect because once I moved into NAGA, I looked on all the business units and I saw the business units that maybe are not profitable and maybe they don't do good on the bottom line. So we started to close some of them because we have some objectives in terms of KPIs for EBITDA and we wanted to maintain it. So this was one of the first things that we did. As me and my team, we have very big experience when it comes to our domain.
Okay, got it. Then the second one is on the KPIs. So the traded volumes, number of transactions, and the number of active customers. Can you give us here also a pro forma figure of 23? So is it correct that I assume that we have seen here a decline as well because you shut down certain areas of NAGA or certain segments, subsegments? Is it fair to assume that?
It depends. It depends. We need to take in consideration, and this is a very important topic, is that NAGA in 2023 as a standalone company, they really reduced the marketing spend and the user acquisition, and they concentrated on EBITDA because they wanted to be cash flow positive as they didn't raise any more money. So you need to take in consideration that NAGA from January 2023 until December 2023, they slowed down the activity and concentrated on other KPIs and not on growth. So this is a very important factor. So from January, when we started to do the merge, we had to, let's say, turn on again the engines in NAGA from zero, but now with different processes and with different ways of how we tackle these business units that we have. So in the presentation, we don't have on a pro forma level all the users there, but we can do it also. This would not be a problem.
Okay, great. Yeah, it would be very helpful to have a comparable base of the joint company. All right, then maybe some general word. How's current trading look like? So we are end of October. H1 was end of June. So how have things developed until now? And maybe you can give us some kind of feeling regarding the KPIs and also top line. And maybe to combine that question, do you plan to give a guidance for full year 23 on top line or bottom line?
2024 guidance.
Yes, 2024. Sorry. Yes.
So we are now in a position where we can give a guidance, but when we give guidance, we want to make sure that we are going to reach it. We can give an insight of what happened in Q3. We cannot give numbers, but Q3 was in line with our expectation. We need to take in consideration also all the capital markets rules. We're going to be able, for the first year, we wanted to have H1 as results, and we want to have H2 as results once we close it. And we wanted to give a guidance once we have more data, because we don't want to be in a position where we're going to give a guidance and we're not going to meet it. So we are taking in consideration this in this quarter to maybe put also guidance for the whole year of 2024 before it ends. But for sure, for 2025, we're going to have a direct guidance on the numbers and on all the efforts that we're doing now.
Okay, and just some general words on current trading. So how are volumes and number of transactions developed currently? So are they increasing quarter over quarter, or stable, or decreasing, or maybe some words on general market dynamics that you see? So is it all going well, or do you see some clouds?
From now, we see that everything is going according to our plan. And as I said, in H1, opposed to the other H, we had an increase on the trading volume of 65%. So we see more and more trading volume. But now we need to focus on the user growth. This is very important for us. And to make sure that from the user growth, we're going to reach our KPIs in terms of ROI and so on. So imagine that now, with all the new company, we need to build again the brand name. NAGA is a great brand name, and we need to get it out there. That's why we have the efforts with Borussia Dortmund. That's why we have the efforts with our new Everything Money campaign and the ad that you're going to see starting next week. We are pushing more our social trading and the features that we are launching to get more and more new users. And also, it's important for us to see how the clients will going to react, the CAPEX clients from the emerging markets, once we give them access to the product of NAGA. And once we have all of this data, I think we're going to be a little bit more knowledgeable and know exactly where to push to grow. But overall, as in H1, the company is growing. In H2, once we're going to finish it, we're going to be able to put all the numbers. And we need to take in consideration also the volatility of the markets, because in some quarters, you can see a big volatility and you can see more revenues. And you are Frederick, you are a capital markets expert. So you know that in Q3, we had some volatility.
Yeah, absolutely.
In markets, and this reflects the trading volume.
Yeah.
Yes, but we're gonna give it in time according to the capital markets rules. We need to respect them.
All right. Great. Sounds good. Thank you so far.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Yaki, for your questions. There have been a few more questions in the Q&A function. But again, I want to remind everybody, if there's still open questions, to raise the hand via the raise your hand button. Otherwise, I will proceed now with the questions from the chat. The first one is, do you see further cost-cutting potential stemming from the merger? And if so, where?
Okay, so all of the cuts that we said, they are there in the presentation. So this is what we can do. And if we reach the 10 million cuts, I think it's a very, very big win. And we would be happy to have it. Now, we need to take in consideration that we are doing these cuts, but from this money that we cut from different synergies, we are investing in the future of the company. So for me, from day one, it was important that we have a long-term plan which we can execute. And what can ruin your investment plan for like 2 years or 3 years can be regulation, which we are well prepared for it. That's why we're acquiring more licenses, so we can have even a better infrastructure here and be prepared for all the changes that can come. Second of all, the funding. That's why it was important for us to have an EBITDA positive and have cash in the account so we can execute our business plan. And if you are disciplined enough and you're going to execute your business plan, for sure, the results will going to come. And me personally, as you saw, as CEO and also as shareholder of NAGA, I didn't only talk. I also put my own money into place. That's why my position today in NAGA almost reaches 80 million euro as an investment through the convertible note and through the loan that I'm giving, which is a very, very big position. And it shows my trust in the company, or at least the trust in the work of the team.
All right, thank you. Second question from the chat. What is the share of transactions that flow in from Telegram directly, and what is the expectation for the next few years?
So I want to repeat again, because this is an important slide. This was our first lateral move to understand how we can get more users from different ecosystems. Because this is also like a new marketing technique, but can be also a long-term strategy. So as I said in the beginning, we just launched an MVP. An MVP of an app is that we launch an app just to see how it functions and what kind of knowledge we're going to get from it. And we didn't do any marketing. And without marketing, we can see that the Telegram ecosystem works because we managed to have 165,000 registered users from there. Now we are launching, let's say, our fully fledged app, which is specially done for Telegram with features only for Telegram. And then we're going to start our marketing campaigns. Once we start our marketing campaigns, we're going to have data exactly on conversion rate, on trading volumes, etc. And we're going to become smarter on this collaboration. And only then I can talk about it when I have the numbers. Now it's only assumptions. And in capital markets, it's better to come with numbers than assumptions.
Yeah, that's probably true. Thank you. And the last question, DNA stands at 5.6 million. What is it for? So the depreciation amortization.
Yes, I think this is a question for Ricardo.
Hi. Yeah, so basically it's for all the investments in technology that NAGA made prior to the merge. It is very consistent with the previous years in NAGA. Of course, the CapEx was more focused on commercial, so had less investment in tech. But NAGA had a very significant investment in technology in the previous years. This is depreciation for it. It's quite normal and straightforward.
Perfect. I think that answers the question. As there are no further questions in the chat, or neither a hand is up, I think that we can conclude this earnings call. Thank everybody for your participation. And I will now give over to Octavian for some final remarks.
Thank you very much, guys, for hosting me again. It was my pleasure to present H1. I hope that we're going to come with a lot of new things in the future. We had this premise in the team that we talk less and do more, but we know that in the capital markets, you need to talk a little bit more. So we're trying to align with this. But there's a lot of things that is happening inside of NAGA. I'm very proud of the teams that we're constructing, but more importantly, about the culture that we're having in NAGA to make sure that we are competitive as a team and as a company. A lot of things we're going to follow up. Of course, on our way, we're going to do a lot of mistakes, but more importantly, we're going to learn from these mistakes. And as you can see, one of the mistakes in the past was that we didn't communicate enough to the capital markets, which now happens on a regular basis. And we're going to do more and more this. And even on the data that we present it very transparently for everybody to understand what's going on. And I'm personally excited about the future. Now we're going to see if we're going to succeed in the way that we planned. So thank you very much for today.
Perfect. Thank you, everybody, and have a good rest of the day. Bye-bye.